day. Oh my goodness. I mean, they are really in full panic mode against President Trump. I mean, these people are doing things right now that are so insane, but we're going to cover it all. So insane, I can't even believe they're doing some of these things, quite honestly. And I know a lot of you probably agree with me. I mean, they just won't stop when it comes to going after Trump. So here we go, guys. It is showtime. Here we go. All right, guys, it's showtime. This is the last commercial. We'll be live in just a moment.
Reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle tension. For full prescribing information, 1-855-213.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show.
All right. Oh, man, if you guys only knew what went on behind the scenes. That's where the action is. All right, welcome, guys. It is Thursday morning, the 8th of June, 2023, and boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to cover today. What is going on with the uniparty, the deep state, and this out-of-control Department of Justice against the greatest president ever, Donald Trump, is getting worse, and they're going to places that I think most people would be, even those that have followed all this, most people who follow this like I do, will even be shocked at the lengths that they're going now. There was a major story yesterday. There's all these major stories that I share with you that the mainstream media are covering up and not reporting. And there has been something going on that I found out about yesterday afternoon that the media, I promise you, has known about for quite some time and has kept it a secret. And now it has become public. So let me just, before I tell you what it is, I know this is insane what they're doing to President Trump. And remember what President Trump says. They're not doing this to me, they're doing it to you. That's right. So listen to this. Again, this is insane. So we have the grand jury in New York that brought in that indictment where Trump, went up there and bragged at his thing. There is whatever they're doing in Georgia. Then there's a D.C. grand jury with that Jack Smith special prosecutor who's investigating the Mar-a-Lago documents, right? There's the D.C. grand jury. Now, you all know about the D.C. grand jury, but I just found out about this yesterday. There has been a secret grand jury, a secret federal grand jury into the Mar-a-Lago document case in Miami. There's a Miami grand jury that the Jack Smith with the document case has been going on, and they have witnesses that have been testifying in front of the Miami Trump grand jury. The media have kept this secret for all kinds of reasons, I guess, and it's a shocking development, and it came out of the Department of Justice yesterday that they've told the Trump team that they expect an indictment next week. And they're telling his legal team to be prepared for a possible indictment next week. And they're telling us that the indictment is expected to come out of the Miami grand jury. Now, why would Jack Smith have two grand juries going? Well, it's pretty simple. the more grand juries you have, you know, if you got grand juries going on all over the place, eventually you're going to get an indictment. This is insane. You know, I got a lot of questions about this Miami grand jury that we don't have answers to. No one even knew about this grand jury. And I know a lot of you didn't know about it. I didn't know about it until yesterday. So I want to know a few things about the Miami Trump grand jury. How long have the media known about it? How long has it been going on, this Miami grand jury, this Trump grand jury in Miami? It's at the federal courthouse in downtown Miami. My goodness. I also want to know how long Ron DeSantis has known about the Miami federal grand jury into the document case. You know, Ron DeSantis double digits behind in every poll. Even his own campaign did a poll, and he's double digits behind Trump in that one. And he's been running around, acting pretty happy. And I've been trying to figure out, why is DeSantis so happy when he's double digits behind in every poll? I don't understand what's going on. I know about the D.C. grand jury. I'm expecting the Miami grand jury. You know, there's no way that the governor of the state of Florida did not know that there was a federal grand jury in his own state, in Miami, which, by the way, Miami, a lot of you don't realize this either. Miami is Jeb Bush country, right? Jeb Bush has lived in Miami for, oh my goodness, he lived in Miami when his dad was president. So, yeah. So there's a lot of Jeb Bush Republicans that are in the positions of authority and power in Miami. So what did Ron DeSantis know about this grand jury, and how long did he know it? Now, if you're on hold, stand by. This is shocking news. We're going to take a quick break and be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve.
I mean, this is insane.
It's official.
Oh my goodness.
President Trump from PatrioticPrinceUSA.com is a hit. But don't just take my word for it. This is Lisa.
Hey, listen, we got our picture.
I rode the MAGA Scooter 2.0 to the radio station today. I cut it really close getting here.
Online at PatrioticPrinceUSA.com. That's Prince with an S. PatrioticPrinceUSA.com.
I left 10 minutes too late.
At the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, because here we're all about community. With like-minded people and businesses, the Chamber will help your business grow, and you get to connect with people that will become your best friends. Weekly events give you ample opportunities.
Oh my goodness.
Alongside talented professionals. At the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, we are better together. Become a member at DelrayBeach.com.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever color truck you have, I get you incredible deals.
Oh man, welcome guys. If you're new to my channel, subscribe, and everyone please like the video.
554-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Here we go.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome one and all. I am Brian Craig. It is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Flow Rida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Callers on hold, stand by. If you're just tuning in, a secret federal grand jury has been hearing witnesses in the Mar-a-Lago case. There's a Trump federal grand jury in Miami. Breaking news here. They've kept this secret. We're talking about that. Before we go to the calls, I want to tell everyone about my chiropractic physician, Dr. Philip Appleton. He's absolutely amazing. You know, his laser away pain treatment works, people. It works. You know, he's rid me of 3 types of pain and 3 different types parts of my body. Arthritis pain. 1 treatment. Arthritis in my hand, my right hand. All my problems on the right side of my body. I'm right-handed. 1 treatment with Dr. Appleton's laser away pain treatment, which is absolutely amazing. 1 treatment, my arthritis pain gone. It is not returned. My shoulder pain, 1 treatment, boom, gone, hasn't returned. My knee, 2 treatments. I went in on a Thursday, did the 2nd treatment on Saturday. I woke up Sunday, I was pain-free. That's been a year or more. The pain is not returned. It is amazing. Dr. Appleton's laser away pain treatment works on so many different kinds of pain too. Rotary tears, herniated discs, acute pain, chronic pain, fibromyalgia, plantar fasciitis. I don't even know what that is. Plantar fasciitis, but it works on it. Sciatica, spinal stenosis, tinnitus, neck injuries, back injuries, post-surgical swelling, strains and sprains, work injuries, sports injuries, so many different types of pain. Stop living in pain. You don't have to. You know, the laser away pain treatment is completely pain-free. There's no surgery, no downtime, no drugs, and no injections. That's right. When I'm getting the laser away pain treatment, I'm just there on my phone reading my emails or going through the news or watching something on my phone. So give him a call. It's always walk-ins and no appointments necessary, 6 days a week, even on Saturdays. Dr. Appleton is there Monday through Saturday. Walk-ins and no appointments required even on Saturdays. You can find him online at AppletonChiro.com or give him a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike.
You know, this is nothing. All this stuff, all these cases, including Eugene Carroll and everything else, are nothing but lawfare.
Yeah, but this lawfare, I like that. This one in Miami, though, this federal grand jury in downtown Miami, hearing witnesses on the document case, this has been a secret grand jury. They've kept it a secret from the public. I want to know, what did Governor DeSantis know about this grand jury, and when did he know it? I want to know the press. I want to know when the media first heard about this Miami grand jury. I mean, I'm in shock that we're just learning about this now.
I'm in shock too. I mean, remember when he didn't want to get into the whole thing about whether or not he was going to go against the extradition in New York?
Yeah.
This grand jury brings this into question as to why exactly he didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that this Miami grand jury may even be news to President Trump. Hey, Mike, thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Booker Hole, West Virginia.
Come on. Give me a break. 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is the number, 888-465-2631. So listen to this. This is in trending politics. Multiple sources have revealed that federal prosecutors have informed President Trump that he's currently being targeted as a criminal. See, making America great again is apparently a federal crime. You know, his crime is that the Washington elite feel that they're not controlling our lives right now, that the American people are choosing who our leaders are. Multiple sources have revealed that federal prosecutors have informed President Trump that he's currently being targeted as a criminal. And it's highly likely that an indictment is imminent. The investigation revolves around alleged mishandling of classified documents. The Justice Department has chosen not to postpone filing charges to allow for a thorough examination of witness tampering allegations. Insiders familiar with the matter have reported that the Department of Justice has chosen not to postpone the forthcoming indictment of Donald Trump. despite allegations that a senior prosecutor involved in the case attempted to sway a crucial witness by discussing a potential federal judgeship with a witness's attorney. See, that's like bribing. They're like trying to bribe people, promising them federal judgeships and things is what that's talking about. My goodness. Where's the media on this? President Trump would be charged with gathering, transmitting, or losing national defense documents if officially indicted, according to the Post-Millennial. These specific allegations are currently under review in a sealed case presided over by Chief U.S. District Judge James Boasberg. That's the D.C. grand jury. And the grand jury convened within that courthouse. According to sources, Special Counsel Jack Smith has been preparing a historic federal indictment. That's how they're describing it, a historic federal indictment, because it would be the first indictment of a president, which would be presented to a federal grand jury possibly this week. And this is just the D.C. What they're talking about having here are not one, but two indictments. One in D.C. and one, or maybe more, there may be more indictments in both of these grand juries, but they're talking about indictments from two different jurisdictions. And since they've kept this secret, so I don't know what this means. If they get indictments from D.C., and then they get indictments from Miami, from the Miami grand jury that we're just now learning about, does that mean two different trials? Does that mean a federal trial here and a federal trial in D.C.? You know, what they're doing here with President Trump, and it's quite obvious what they're doing here with President Trump. I mean, you know, they're in a panic. They're doing everything they can do to stop him from getting the nomination. And what their scheme is simple. It's been the same scheme for a long time. They get these indictments going. They've got trials going, or trials upcoming. When it comes to primary season, they're going to go to, each state is different who's in charge of the election process in the individual states. Every state is different. But who's ever in charge of such things, they're going to go to these uniparty Republicans and keep Trump off the ballot and say, well, he's under federal indictment, or indictments plural, where there's a federal trial going on, or there's a federal trial on the schedule. We can't have him on the ballot in this state. Even if it's not legal, they want to try to keep him off the ballot. You know, the Democrats did this to Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln in the 1860 presidential election was not on the ballot in any of the southern states. Isn't that something? You know, so this is, and they'll use that probably as a legal precedent to do this, but they want to try to keep Trump off the ballot in these primary states to stop him from getting the nomination. And you see what sellouts I mean, look what DeSantis did to us. You see what sellouts we have in the uniparty Republican rhinos. I call them rats, Republicans against Trump, right? These people are willing to do all kinds of crazy things. Look at the betrayal we've had with Governor DeSantis lately. Now, if they're unsuccessful with that, when the Republican convention comes around, because Donald Trump's double-digit leads in all these early primary states, the momentum's in his favor, they're going to go for the brokered convention, okay, and try to give the nomination to somebody else other than him, who will have won the majority of the delegates in the primary process. These people will never stop scheming. In fact, they're not going to stop scheming until after Trump's second term. They're not going to, you know, he's going to be dealing with this for the rest of his life. There's not a moment in President Trump's life where he's not going to be dealing with this. They're always going to be investigating. There's always going to be grand juries, and there's always going to be investigations. But this looks like what it is, a scheme to make sure that he doesn't get the nomination. Now, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. There's more to share. Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again.
Thank you.
north and southbound I-95, passing Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, incident and delay free. This report sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Hey shoppers, this is your local farmer letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season right now. Look for the Sunny Fresh from Florida logo while you shop. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com.
Oh man, these people will stop at nothing.
That's traffic on Zach.
Traffic, a service of the Pulse Kennel Club. Saturday, June 10th, watch, wager, and win on the exciting Belmont Stakes at PBKC. And check out all the great OTV action at the Paddock Restaurant with over 130 new HD TVs and big screens, delicious lunches, a full bar, and impressive wine.
Oh my goodness. I'll get to more. Got more details on this. Guys, feel free to call me on the air, your thoughts on this. I mean, this is crazy. So I rode the MAGA Scooter 2.0 this morning for the first time to the radio station because it's, the weather's nice today. And I barely made it. I didn't leave quite early enough. I needed to leave like 10 minutes earlier than I did. I had a time right, but then I stopped for gas, which I didn't really even need to do. I could have gotten gas after the show, but
Culinary food artisans and witness local chefs showing off their cooking demonstrations. The Green Market is open rain or shine, pet friendly, and has free parking. The Green Market is a licensed snack provider, so you can shop with eligible
had a
snack vendors.
couple experiences on the way.
With fresh access bucks, dollar-for-dollar match. You snap, we match. This is a program of the Delray Beach Community Redevelopment Agency. See you on Saturday.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West Delray, and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, you'll have more energy, you'll get your sex drive back, and women, hormone replacement pellet
Let's see
therapy
here.
completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone. Night sweats gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet him, they're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet him again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
Blue Star medicated ointment gets 5-star reviews from our loyal users for fast relief of the pain and itch of almost any skin irritation.
Blue Star Soothes Insecticide.
I'm looking for a soundbite I wanted to play when we get back.
Psoriasis on my elbows. Blue Star worked wonders.
Amazing stuff.
Oh my goodness. I mean, these people will stop at nothing.
With the Blue Star
Nothing.
First aid section. Feel Blue Star work fast or your money back.
Here we go.
To the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, yes, indeed. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Indeed it is. And if you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot. We found out that there is a secret federal grand jury in Miami where indictments are expected, according to reports, against President Trump in the Mar-a-Lago documents case, a grand jury that they've kept secret from us. The press, probably DeSantis. There's no way Ron DeSantis did not know there was a federal grand jury in his state against President Trump. I just find it impossible to believe that it didn't leak out to him. I'd like somebody to ask him. Wouldn't you? Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Now, there's many more updates on the grand jury, which I'm going to get into in a moment, but I did something today I've not done before. I rode the MAGA Scooter 2.0 to the radio station this morning, and and I took a way that I take to work quite often, but I'm usually in a sealed vehicle as opposed to on a scooter. And a little, not too far from here, I was driving through the mean streets of Lake Worth and West Palm Beach on Military Trail, and I'm at a stoplight, and this guy, it's really interesting. You go through there's a couple square mile area where it's like Night of the Living Dead. These are people that they're on their way to go home and go to bed, kind of people walking around, you know what I mean? and I'm at a stoplight, and there's a lot of cars at the stoplight, and an African American gentleman with no shirt on, he crosses the street, and he's smoking this skinny cigar that has a filter on it, and he starts to cross at the crosswalk, and anytime I'm out and about, I'm always on alert. I'm always looking, what's going on here, especially when I'm in a scooter. When I had my Jeep Wrangler, I used to, be the same way. And he looks over towards me, and I look at him, and then he stops the crosswalk, and he starts cutting between the cars, coming towards me. And I got a little nervous. He's got his cigar with the skinny cigar with the filter on. He doesn't have his shirt on. He takes a puff. And when he gets by me, he slowed. He didn't stop walking, but he walked slower as he stared. And I could see out of the corner of my eye, after he passed me, he was staring. I thought I was going to get, jacked, or at least an attempt at something. It made me a little nervous. And, I'm not embarrassed to tell you. You got to be careful. And for a second, I was thinking about, I just had these flashbacks to all these people in New York that are crime victims on the street all the time. And I don't know, would you guys be in a liberal wouldn't want to tell you that they were, because they think that you, if they heard the story that they were nervous, would think they're racist because the guy's black. But oh my goodness, you got to be careful through some of these areas. Lake Worth and some of these areas, these people walking the streets, man, it's a little scary. Next time I do it, I might take a different route. Maybe I'll take Jog Road. That sounds a little bit, less Living Dead-like on the way in. I don't know. But it was a nice ride today. The weather's going to be nice, so I thought I'd bring the MAGA Scooter 2.0 today. All right, so let's get back to this. So the secret grand jury that we just found out about, they got 2 grand juries going on here investigating Trump. And this is a place that this country does not need to be in. I mean, it looks exactly like what it is. The powers that be have lost their stranglehold on us. Okay, listen, here we got some more details. Donald Trump has been told he's the target of a criminal probe into the handling of classified documents, according to multiple sources last night. The Justice Department told President Trump's lawyers in letters several days ago, according to Politico, all of this, although Trump has said on Truth Social he's not been informed that he was going to be indicted. He did not mention whether he had been informed he was a target, though. 2 sources have told Fox News Channel, which, by the way, I saw today, Fox News, the 8 o'clock hour, lost in the ratings to MSNBC again. Isn't that something? Wow. That never happened before. 2 sources told Fox News that the Trump attorneys have been notified of President Trump's change in status, being the target. The former, there's a person of interest and then there's a target of an investigation. This is insane. The former notification is seen as a sign that Jack Smith, the special counsel appointed to investigate Trump's handling of classified documents, is close to a decision as to whether to recommend charges against him. Now, close to a decision, am I the only one who believes that the decision to charge Trump was made before they even had these grand juries? Don't you think that they made the decision to charge him in advance of this? Of course they did. Trump's lawyers on Monday met with Smith's lawyers. The Justice Department manual states that prosecutors may send a target letter to those who are likely to be charged in connection with a grand jury probe. But we have grand juries plural on this case. The move is designed to give them an opportunity to testify before an indictment comes down. It's not a guarantee that charges will be filed. Prosecutors consider a target a person for whom there is substantial evidence linking him or her to the commission of a crime and who, in the judgment of the prosecutor, is a defendant. Trump denied he's been told he's being indicted. He wrote on Truth Social, "No one has told me I'm being indicted, and I shouldn't be because I've done nothing wrong. But I have assumed for years that I am a target of the weaponized DOJ and FBI, starting with the Russia hoax, the no collusion Mueller report, impeachment hoax, the perfect Ukraine phone call, and various other scams and witch hunts, a travesty of justice. Republicans in Congress must make this their #1 issue. News of the official notification came days after it emerged a storage room at Mar-a-Lago where surveillance camera footage was kept flooded. Okay. See, have you noticed this? They have two stories that have been reported all week long. Both of them have zero sourcing, right? The first one is the tape of Donald Trump telling people that he had in his hand these plans to attack Iran, these secret plans to attack Iran. We haven't seen that tape. No one's seen it. Even CNN, who continues to report the story, says that they have not verified the tape. They've not seen the tape, heard the tape, whatever. They haven't even told us what kind of tape it is. Then CNN, notice all these lies, all these stories that have no source are all coming from CNN as the original source. So the other story that they've started this week is the pool boy story at Mar-a-Lago. Oh yes, these servers at Mar-a-Lago, they have all the evidence. They have all the evidence, but the pool boy drained the pool and it flooded the room where the servers were. Now, if you've ever been in a computer room in any business, any office, or even people that have them in their homes, because some people do, when they have servers like this, what do they have? They have a rack, right? And typically these servers are at eye level and above. So are they saying that the pool flooded this room? Of all the rooms, it flooded the room with all these servers that have the evidence that they want, and it was 3, 4, 5 feet high or more? Are they kidding me? What are they trying? And of course, they have no evidence, so they have this fake story that the pool boy destroyed the evidence. Now, I know, give me a break. Where's the pool boy in question, by the way? Why aren't they following him around? Because he doesn't exist, that's why. Now, here's a little thing, though, that is a bit of a flaw in this story, and I've not brought this part up about the pool story, other than, how high would it flood? The draining of swimming pools is not something that is done in Florida, except under very special circumstances. Swimming pools are drained up north because they freeze. But in Florida, in particular in South Florida, where Mar-a-Lago is located, you don't drain pools for the winter. The only time you drain a pool is if you're going to paint the pool or resurface the pool. Sometimes people will drain some water out of the pool when a hurricane's coming, but never drain the pool. I've never known anyone, by the way, to do that or drain it, certainly not all the way. I've heard of people draining it partially. So this draining the pool story, which obviously is BS and has a lot of holes in it, you don't really drain pools in Florida. And this is one of those things where it tells me the story came from someone up north who doesn't where you drain pools, and they put this fake news story out. And how convenient, right? Mar-a-Lago is, I believe, the largest mansion in Florida that has somebody actually living in it. I think Vizcaya in Miami is the largest residence, but that's a museum. Nobody lives there anymore. If Mar-a-Lago is not the largest home in Florida that someone actually lives in, it's the second largest. Okay? It's either 1 or 2. I can't remember which. So in the largest or second largest home in the state of Florida where people live, they drained a pool, which is a very unusual thing to do in Florida, as I said. And out of all the rooms in the first or second largest home in all of Florida, it just happened to flood a room that had all the evidence that Jack Smith needs to prosecute Trump. And the swimming pool flood was 5 feet or higher to damage the servers. How convenient. And by the way, if the servers are damaged, how do they know there was evidence on them? These people are out of their minds. We're going to take our last break of this hour. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
By treating your knee pain with laser, treatment is simple and no side effect. I have robotic lasers that have a wonderful effect on joint pain. These are all FDA approved.
Now, you don't just help with knees. Tell the listeners what other areas you can help them with.
Any joint I can do, shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, from the foot all the way up to the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the laser away pain system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. He's open 6 days a week, and same-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio. A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now of Coral Springs or any lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Maplewood by the Coral Square Mall.
Would you consider parting at
954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. They will test for both environmental and food allergies. No appointment is necessary. And make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Brian Craig here. Do you admire Donald Trump, the greatest president ever, as much as I do? Then I've got just the thing for you. A spectacular print of Donald Trump that's hanging proudly in my home. This stunning artwork comes from the paintbrush of Michael Israel. He's the world's finest live-action speed painter. It's available in multiple sizes. Mine is 16 by 20, and this is a must-have for every patriotic MAGA American. But that's not all. A portion of each sale goes directly to President Trump's re-election campaign. It makes a great gift, too. Visit patrioticprintsusa.com. That's patrioticprintsusa.com. And let's make America great again. patrioticprintsusa.com.
Do you suffer from knee pain? Have you been told that you have bone on bone or need a knee replacement? Have you been told that you have osteoarthritis? Well, then come see us at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have non-surgical solutions.
Oh, man.
Include rehab and injections.
This is
from having to have surgery or prolong the surgery.
someday, guys, that we're in. This snake, Mike Pence. I'm going to play this clip of Pence with Dana Bash on CNN yesterday. It is so hot in here. I'll turn the air down during the next break.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, and we are just about a week and a half away from the most important day of the year, which of course is Father's Day. It's big day. You know, my daughter's coming home from California for Father's Day. Very nice. Isn't that nice? Very nice daughter I have, indeed. Yeah, it's Father's Day, and if you go to mypillow.com and use our promo code Kane at checkout, there are great deals that you will find for Father's Day. And when you go to mypillow.com, you can take advantage of all the specials there with our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at checkout. Not just the ones I talk about, okay? No matter what the special says, you can take advantage of it with our promo code Kane. But since I'm a father and it's Father's Day, I'll tell you, some of the MyPillow products that I have that I know Dad would love on his day. One of the most life-changing products from MyPillow.com is the 3-inch MyPillow Mattress Topper 2.0 with cooling technology. I've got this mattress topper. It's amazing. Here we are in the summer. It's hot. I got to turn the air conditioning down during the next break. It's hot. It's Florida, right? And it's going to be hot everywhere, even if you're not in Florida. The MyPillow Mattress Topper 2.0 has cooling technology in it, which perfectly regulates your body temperature. Oh, man, it's 40% off and free shipping with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. It's absolutely amazing. It'll change your life. And if the father you're buying for is your husband, ladies, you'll get the benefit of it, too. You can also order by phone toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. Oh, thanks, Mike. I heard the air come on. Thank you for Turning down the air. I didn't. That was not a. I was not trying to hint for you to do it, but I appreciate it. It's nice having a board op that like helps. You know, over the years we've had board ops that like to sabotage the show. You know, we get these liberal board ops that have done all kinds of things over the years. It's nice to have a board op that's not a saboteur. You know, it's an unusual concept. Steve will tell you. I mean, we've had some real buttes over the years. All right, so Mike Pence, who is, it's hard to say who my least favorite person is, because there's so many people I despise in the war against Trump. But Mike Pence is right at the top of the list. And I have always said, yes, yes, Mike Pence is a strange dude. He's just a weird guy. And he went on CNN. I'm not sure if they called it a town hall or not, but he was in studio with an audience applauding him constantly. If you've got a Republican who has an entire CNN audience applauding them constantly, well, that tells you what you need to know about that Republican. And he's sitting there with Dana Bash. And out of all the times I've heard Mike Pence speak, this one was just the most bizarre. So Dana Bash, I'm going to play this for you now. I just want to do a little setup. Dana Bash talked to him about pardons. Now here in this clip, Dana Bash asks Mike Pence if he'll pardon any of the January 6th prisoners.
Well, sir, on that, Donald Trump says he is, quote, inclined to pardon many members of the mob who attacked the Capitol on January 6th. Those people were, of course, part of the same mob who built gallows and chanted about wanting to hang you. Would you consider pardoning any of them?
You know, on the day of January 6th, I issued a tweet demanding that people leave the Capitol and end the violence. And I said that those that failed to do that should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And I continue to believe that today. We cannot ever allow what happened on January 6th to happen again in the heart of our democracy. And I'll stand by the decisions and the due process of court in our laws. And I have no interest or no intention of pardoning those that assaulted police officers or vandalized our Capitol. They need to be answerable to the law.
Okay. Now, the reason I played that one, there's another clip too I got to pull up. I don't have the next one queued up. But the reason I played that one in particular was for a very specific reason, because I hadn't thought about this in a while. Dana Bash asked if he'll pardon these people that put the gallows up. And then I started thinking, you know what I haven't seen? It's been over 2 years. You know what I haven't seen? I haven't seen any video of any, in the most videoed place there is, right? Now, the Capitol building, outside the Capitol building. I've not seen any videos or even photographs of people building those gallows. I've seen the gallows, and you know, that's wrong. I mean, I'm not, the gallows are wrong and the whole thing. But I've seen pictures and video of the gallows, but nobody putting them up. And I really haven't thought about it too much until this exchange with Pence. Those gallows are massive. Gallows? You mean to tell me that a group of carpenters and construction workers and handymen, because those things are so big it would take a crew, were erecting a structure like that, and the Capitol Police didn't stop it? Seems a little strange to me, doesn't it? Does it seem strange to you? Where's the photos and the videos of the construction of the gallows? I want to know who built those. I want them identified, but they haven't shown it. And I'd also like to know what the Capitol Police were doing while this structure was being built. You know, in D.C., you need permits for everything. To do something like that, you would need like a building permit. The structure was so large. I find it impossible to believe that the Capitol Police and the D.C. Police didn't stop people from building a structure like that. It's very odd. And I also find it odd, as much as they talk about those gallows, they don't show us any video or even still photographs of the people building them. It's almost like they don't want us to see who built them, huh? Why would they not want us to see who built them? So then Dana Bash asks Pence if he'll pardon President Trump if he becomes president. And this is when Pence got really weird.
If Donald Trump is convicted of a crime and you're elected president, would you pardon him?
Well, I don't want to speak about hypotheticals.
Okay, so if you notice, the answer to that is, yes, I would pardon Donald Trump because Donald Trump did no wrong. In fact, he was cleared by Liz Cheney's January 6th Kangaroo Committee. So yes, I would pardon him because he's done no crime according to the congressional investigators. But that's not what he says. And when you don't say that, you're saying no, you wouldn't pardon him. You would allow President Trump to be charged with crimes that he didn't commit.
Sir, if Donald Trump is convicted of a crime and you're elected president, would you pardon him?
Well, I don't want to speak about hypotheticals.
Oh.
I'm not sure I'm going to be elected president of the United States. But I believe we have a fighting chance. I really believe we do.
And if you are...
And I would hope, again, Dan, you're as persistent as ever. CNN is living up to its reputation. But look, there are real issues the American people are facing. And rather than talking about that, I want to talk about what the people here in Iowa are talking about, which is the failed policies of Biden.
Now that's very strange. And when you see the video, his body language was odd. It was very off, Pence. He didn't want to answer the question. You know, all of them in the Uniparty, and Pence is obviously part of the Uniparty, their entire campaign strategy is based around, in their mind, President Trump being arrested and charged with all kinds of crimes. Even though he's been cleared from everything time and time again. Their whole strategy is around that. And, you know, it's really amazing because in this day and age, people are so well informed because of the internet. All the information's out there, and they're operating this way even when everybody sees what they're doing. They feel invincible. They feel 100% invincible. They don't have a worry in the world. And these grand juries that I was talking about, the secret Miami federal grand jury, this DC grand jury, we're about to enter a phase in this country that no living person has experienced before. And when President Trump says they're not coming after him, they're coming after us, they're coming after you, he's right, but they're coming after him too. And Chris Christie, who in his campaign opening speech talked about how self-centered Trump is. Are you kidding me? What man would put themselves in a position to be indicted and charged and tried and arrested, even after after the New York Bragg Soros indictment, he's still going strong. No one that is selfish and self-centered would do this. You know, President Trump could make a deal with these snakes that he would not run ever again and retire, and they would stop all of this. That's what they're trying to do. But he won't stop, and he's not going to stop against them. And what Chris Christie said couldn't be further from the truth. Now, I want to tell you guys, April 27th will be here faster than you could imagine. And April 27th is when our 5th annual Steve Kane Show cruise sets sail on the Celebrity Reflection out of Fort Lauderdale's Port Everglades. And this is going to be an amazing trip. We are going to the ABC Islands. This is the cruise we were going to do, and then they shut down cruising during COVID. So this is the cruise we didn't get to do. I've always wanted to go to Aruba. We're going to Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, the ABC Islands, which are beautiful. And I wanted to go to these islands because I saw an episode of The Love Boat where they went to the ABC Islands, and they're beautiful. And right now, the summer sales event is going on. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot. Reserve your spot during the summer sales event. If you've already made a reservation, call in as well. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. We'll be right back after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robe's Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Some of the other board ops, they'd go and turn the heat on. I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm serious. Think I'm kidding?
No, I believe you. It's just I can't even stand the heat. I wouldn't want to do that to myself if I wanted to. It was like 78 degrees.
Oh man, I barely made it in today on time with the. I just. Okay. So now they're going after Tucker again. I'm going to get into that when we get back.
Here's your true oldies ABC News Update. ABC News Now, I'm Tom Rivers. It'll be another day of record poor air quality across a lot of the eastern U.S. Smoke from hundreds of wildfires in eastern Canada has been gushing into the U.S. with no relief in sight until Friday at the earliest. Joran van der Sloot, prime suspect in Natalie Holloway's disappearance from Aruba in 2005, will be in the U.S. by days.
My family and friends that live up north, like, I'm not gonna work out. Like, you guys okay up there? Like, you know?
Oh, with the fires? Oh my gosh.
The air quality's like 333.
I know. And the airport's closed. You can't leave.
My aunt was on a cruise in Canada, and she was saying how bad. Like, she said you couldn't even like see on the boat. Nothing.
Oh my gosh.
And I was telling.
That's scary.
When I told my parents were like, "Oh, that's what she was talking about." I didn't know about the fire, and my cousin just sent me photos of outside.
Oh, it's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
First state capital was a log cabin. I give you the scoop on that and other Florida trivia. And the Norton Museum offers a summer filled with activities. Read these and other stories in Florida Weekly. Available throughout Palm Beach County. Available online at floridaweekly.com.
What the outdoors and the open road? Don't miss RBL. Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Hosted by Giant Recreation.
I parked the Mega Scooter 2.0 right outside the window so I can see it. I'm looking down at it. Here we go.
1977. It's the Steve King Show with Brian Craig.
All right. Welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I was telling Mike during the break, when I said I was going to turn the air down during the commercial break, he went and turned it down. And I said some of the other board ops we've had, they turned the heat on if they heard me say that. It's true. I'm not kidding. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right, welcome back, everyone. Hour number 2 has begun. Calls on hold, stand by. We've covered a lot. I'm going to take some calls and get into some other issues, but in the last hour, I broke another story today. It came out yesterday that Jack Smith has a second documents grand jury. It's a secret grand jury that's been hearing testimony from witnesses in Miami at the federal courthouse in Miami. And they're telling us that that's where they're expecting indictments to come from. Scary stuff, people. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, what's your name?
Marilyn?
Marilyn, go ahead. What's on your mind?
Hi, this thing with the jury and everything, in my opinion, this is just some general BS where they want to force everybody who wants to vote for Trump to actually have to write him in, you know, like how every year, I mean, every election, somebody votes for Mickey Mouse and Elvis and God and Jesus, you know, these joke write-in things.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to just manipulate the voting.
Well, I would say that's not what they're. I'll tell you what I think they're doing. I mean, to have two grand juries, one in D.C. and then this secret one that we just found out about yesterday in Miami, they have no evidence against Trump because he's done no crime. Okay, he's done no crime, but if you get multiple grand juries going, the chances of getting an indictment increase. They have multiple grand juries because they have no evidence, and if they have more than one, the chances of getting an indictment against an innocent man, Donald Trump, have doubled. That's why they're doing it. Sometimes you're thinking too hard about it, but you know, all they want is a federal indictment against him. And they're going to say that a federal indictment will keep him off the ballot.
Not vote for him is like against the law to vote for him. I mean, if you can vote for Jesus and Mickey Mouse, I mean...
Well, a write-in is not going to work, okay? A write-in, you're not going to win the presidency with a write-in, because they'll even if everyone did it, right? They would say, well, 12 million of these people wrote Donald Trump. They didn't write John, as it's supposed to say on the ballot. They'd come out with all kinds of things. No, a write-in ballot is, I mean, obviously that's what we would all do, but that wouldn't work. They would find ways to discount the votes.
Like your handwriting was too bad or something.
Yeah. They'd find ways to discount a write-in. There's never been a serious write-in candidate like that, so no one knows how it will work or what would work. But I don't think it's possible. First off, how do you even do that? If you went on election day and wanted to write in a candidate, I would bet you that the people there most of them would not even know the process for you to do that. Obviously, that's what we would do, and we would advocate for that. But I don't think there's a way to win that way. So we don't even want to think about that as a fallback.
I mean, otherwise, Bill the Cat would have become the president back in the 80s.
Exactly. All right. Hey, listen, take care. Thanks for the call. Now, yesterday, we were talking about Tucker Carlson. And Tucker Carlson's debut show, Tucker on Twitter, now has had 100 million views. This is the largest viewing since like the last episode of MASH back in '83. We are in historic numbers with Tucker Carlson. 100 million. And Fox is now coming after him. They're saying that he has violated his contract by doing this show. Well, this is an interesting thing here because Tucker went on Twitter and made a video about 2 or 3 weeks ago, announcing he was going to do this. And that video had like 50 million views. I don't remember how many, right? And now all of a sudden, when he broke a world record for this, all of a sudden he's breached his contract. If he was breaching contract, why didn't they go after him then, right? Well, what happened is that was before the mass exodus of viewers. See, when they got rid of Tucker, whose status with Fox is unclear in all the reporting, he's still on the payroll as far as I know, and his lawyers are in negotiations with Fox lawyers on his exit. But what Fox News was counting on, when he made the announcement a couple weeks ago that he was going to do this on Twitter, Fox News didn't care that there was a boycott and an exodus. They thought we were going to come back. And how many weeks has this been going on now? It's been going on for a month. And last night they lost to MSNBC. And as far as I know, isn't MSNBC in third place? Typically. So was Fox News in third place last night in prime time? I mean, this is insane, right? So they're feeling the pain that we're not coming back. And they're trying to deal with it. So listen to this. Fox News has accused Tucker Carlson of breaching his contract after he launched a new opinion show on Twitter. This is according to Axios and Mediaite. Mediaite's very liberal. I used to like Axios, but they seem to be a part of the corporate media in all kinds of ways now. They're kind of like the new CNN, Axios. Axios reports things so that conservatives, MAGA people find out about it since we've left Fox News. Well, why did they wait until after this show and not after the first one he did a couple weeks ago, right? Because they got creamed. Both media outlets, Axios and Mediaite, said that lawyers for Fox News sent a letter to Tucker setting up a possible legal showdown. Carlson's new show, a 10-minute tour of various conspiracy theories, they say. They were not conspiracy theories. He was giving analysis of this dam break in Ukraine, and he talked about the UFOs. I don't believe that aliens have visited the Earth. I'm not saying I don't believe in extraterrestrial life. I do believe in that. I just don't think they've come here. But and then they say, listen to this. Carlson's new show, a 10-minute tour of various conspiracy theories, which is a lie, launched Tuesday on the platform now controlled by right-wing billionaire Elon Musk. Elon Musk voted for Joe Biden, and he talks about it all the time. He voted for Joe Biden. How does that make him right-wing? Doesn't that make him left-wing? He voted for Joe Biden. Tucker promised to be back with much more very soon. He was using his main studio. That was not the Florida studio. It was the same studio he did on the Fox Nation. So they're in a panic now because he's hit 100 million views on his debut show. That's absolutely amazing. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
First of all, it's really laughable that Chris Christie is calling anybody a narcissist, especially after what he did to the people in New Jersey during one of the hurricanes, where he closed down the beaches except for him and his family. Then there was the bridge scandal 2 years later, where he closed lanes going into and out of Fort Lee, causing hours and hours of gridlock because he had a problem with the union. So for him to come out and talk about narcissism is just laughable.
Exactly.
This is what I want to say about the Republican Party. If the Republican Party really cared about this country, they wouldn't have multiple candidates. They would all get together behind Trump, just like the Democrats are doing with Joe Biden. If they really cared about this country. And the reason why I'm so upset about this whole debt ceiling thing, which I'm sure you don't want to talk about, is that if the Republicans would have toed the line, and Trump said to let it go into default because it's going to be much worse later, and it would have been, what the Republican Party did by voting on that debt ceiling, no Democrat would have won an election for years and years if the U.S. would have defaulted on their debt.
Yeah.
That was the final blow.
Yeah. Yeah.
McCartney and the 149 bent the knee. And
well, the media would have blamed the Republicans. You know, it wouldn't have turned out the way you're describing it. Yeah, but
Brian, with these indictments, this is what's so just infuriating. If Ron DeSantis doesn't think that they would indict him over throwing a piece of gum on the sidewalk, or any of these Republican candidates, they're delusional.
Mm-hmm.
The Democrats are communists. They're playing by the communist playbook.
Yep. Yep.
No, but how secret juries happen is just beyond me.
Well, there's secret Miami federal grand jury that they have investigating Trump that I just found out about yesterday afternoon. I think most people have found out about it through I did discuss it on my podcast last night when I first found out about it. I brought it up today, and I want to know, when did Ron DeSantis know that there was a grand jury in Miami, in his state? There's no way that DeSantis did not know about this grand jury and his team did not know. Yeah? There's no way.
Conversely, where's the Republican AGs going to charge Trump and Biden? Not Trump, Pence and Biden.
Exactly.
This should go.
Exactly.
It's infuriating.
It is. All right, I got to run. Callers on hold, stand by. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
You know, a good home security system has a bajillion parts. You got your motion sensors, glass break detectors, camera lenses, signal relays, but none of that really matters.
My daughter is watching on YouTube in California. She's up really early, right? And she texted me. Nobody in the chat said anything to me about this. She says, "Why is your back covered in snow?" I said, "Huh?" She said, "You have white stuff all over your back." I said, "It must be lint from my jacket." And she sent me a picture. I don't know what is on my back. My back is itching. Now I know why. And nobody in the chat, look at this. Nobody said anything to me about this, you guys. You're punking me. Look at that. What the heck? I don't know what's on my back. Now I know why my back is itching. Oh my goodness. It's not the jacket. Thanks a lot, guys, for having my back. Yeah. Golly. Gee whiz. You guys.
Burns fat, boosts energy levels, suppresses appetite, balances blood sugar, and promotes rapid weight loss. Elegant Youth is in the Sandalwood Plaza, right next to any lab test.
I walk over here and drinking coffee. My daughter's in California. She took a screenshot from the live stream she was watching. So if she saw it, you guys saw it. That picture she sent me came from the live stream. It's okay. And then she sent me a picture, see, of me holding up the picture. Hey, then she sent me that. I'm glad she told me, because I would have been in the office today with that all over my back. I wouldn't have known.
To make sure that you have your prescriptions. They'll help you find a doctor, including a specialist. If you've been billed improperly by a doctor's office or a hospital, they can help you with that too. They'll even be your advocate when you're in the hospital to make sure you get the care you need and the care you deserve. And that's just the beginning of what they do. I Will Advocates takes care of all Steve Kane's healthcare issues too, and they can do the same for you. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Call Debbie at I Will Advocates right now. Toll free 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326.
You know what that is? You know what's on? Oh.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Oh, man. The things that happened during the commercial breaks. Oh, my goodness, if you guys were only here. Dr. Appleton and his laser wave pain treatment, it's really life-changing. There are so many things that I am able to do that I couldn't do before because I was in too much pain. When you're in pain, the pain that I had, my arthritis, my knee pain, my shoulder pain that he rid me of, it was that kind of pain where it hurts. It hurts so much, it just makes you tired. You understand what I mean? And you just don't want to do anything. And it's really awful. It's really awful. And I thought, well, I'm getting older, and that's life. It's not. Call Dr. Appleton. Go and see him. Talk to him about his laser wave pain treatment. Remember, with the laser wave pain treatment with Dr. Appleton, there are no injections, no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Right? And appointments are not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome Monday through Saturday. He's also open on Saturdays. Usually I go in on Saturdays most of the time, and I always go in unannounced. But the last time I went on Friday, right before he closed at the end of the day. And I just walked in, and he didn't know I was there, and they took me into the room, and I was waiting for him. When you're in pain, you need help, you want relief, and you want it now. You don't want to wait. And that's why Dr. Appleton says appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome. Find him online at AppletonChiro.com. He's a chiropractic physician, and he wants to rid you of your pain. Or give him a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. How you doing? This is Maria from Florida.
Hey, Maria.
Hey, how you doing? I want to appreciate you. Thank you for the number you gave me last week. I was into the call back, but I didn't.
Oh, great.
I've been so upset with these people attacking our president. This is really, really sickness what they're doing, and they going to try everything in their power to keep them off the ballots. That's what this is about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I have came to this conclusion that it's nothing that these people would do to destroy him, and they have done everything to destroy him. That's why, a lot of people that I know went and vote for Democrats and say, oh, I'm independent. No, you're not independent. You're a Democrat. There's no way you could be independent and still vote for Democrats. No way. But it is really sad what they are doing, and I cannot believe the Justice Department would use themselves in this matter to attack not only the former president, but a man that's running for office again. That's already pronounced he's running, and they're using all their power using these.
Well, this is the thing. President Trump is the only president, probably ever, but certainly in the modern era, to not be chosen by the establishment of the parties. All of them. Even Obama, people forget, Obama was in with Bill Ayers' parents, okay, back when he was in college, and there was this Chicago cell. It was Bill Ayers' parents, Valerie Jarrett's parents, Hillary Clinton's parents, and Frank Marshall Davis had the Chicago cell, and Obama, of course, was brought up through that. So he was one of these hand-picked people too, and Donald Trump is the first. Even Ronald Reagan, as great as he was part of the Republican establishment in 1976 when Ford was going for the nomination. They were talking at the convention about nominating Ronald Reagan for president and President Ford as vice president in the 76 Republican convention. He was even establishment, as great as he was. So they've lost total control of everything in Washington. And they can't, and I remember when Obama was elected, I was not happy. And people were down in the dumps. And I said, listen, he's only going to be president for 8 years at the longest. And then we'll have a chance. So, I'm not going to be depressed. And that's typically how I look at it. They couldn't let 4 or 8 years go by without having total control over our lives. And that's what this is all about. Power.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's all about. And it's so sad that they use this against this man's life. This man he's been out there for a long time. I was a kid watching these shows and listening to him and just kicking and laughing. It was just straight up funny. He was just a nice guy. And for them to take this man and destroy it, just tear him up and inside and out. And if he was a weak person, he would have been gave up.
Mm-hmm.
Not. And that's the reason why they're going at him. There's nothing, no crime and nothing, because he did no crime. They're going after him because they don't want him to be president again. They know it. I know it.
That's right. All right. All right, Marie, I appreciate the call. And the polls have them flipped out. That's why they got the 2 grand juries going on. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff Remain, Brian.
Hey, Jeff.
That last call hit it on the money. There is nobody in this planet as tough as President Donald Trump. And not only that, he's the smartest man on this planet. This man could have sailed away in the sunset and had a beautiful retirement till the day he died. But he loves this country, and he's going to stick up for us, and he is of and by we the people. And I'm telling you something, the Republican establishment is no different than our Democrat Party. It's a uniparty, and that's the problem. And Donald Trump came in and exposed them all.
Yeah, I know. This secret grand jury that Jack Smith has in Miami, I mean, is there any possibility that the governor of Florida did not know that there was a Trump grand jury going on in his state? I don't believe that's possible.
No way.
DeSantis had to know. I want to know when Ron DeSantis knew about this grand jury that Jack Smith has against Trump in Miami. What did the governor know, and when did he know it? He used to have press conferences every day. I haven't seen a press conference in a while with Ron DeSantis.
No, we haven't. And I don't trust him at all. Do you think we can find out when he did find out? Do you know what I mean? About the grand jury?
Yeah, I think it'll come out. Yeah, it's going to come out. Because this story, I found out about it yesterday afternoon. It has not been reported widely. It's starting to get reported today, and there's a lot of confusion. People are getting confused. There's so many, Jack Smith has 2 grand juries. I've never heard of such a thing in one case. There's confusion. People think that, wait a minute, the grand jury's in Miami? They don't understand. Smith has the D.C. grand jury and now the secret Miami grand jury at the federal courthouse in Miami. So it hasn't soaked in with people what's going on here yet, that Jack Smith has 2 grand juries investigating Trump's document case. So and here we are in almost the weekend. I think it'll take a couple days for people to figure this out, what's going on, because it is confusing. It is confusing. Hey, Jeff, I got to run for the break, but thanks for the call. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great.
Yeah, that's lint on my back from this jacket. This jacket's covered in lint on the inside. I did not know it, when I put it on. So that's, I'm glad my daughter sent me that picture, because I would have, after the show, been going through the office with all this lint all over my back. Okay. Yeah, Jeff Remain's calls are always great. No, thanks. No, I looked in the back of the jacket. It's filled with lint. I don't know why. I got to wash this jacket. I looked in it before I put it back on. Yes, could have been worse. Would you guys have been nervous sitting on the scooter at the light this morning when the black guy, no shirt, with a skinny cigar and a filter, walked over to me at the light? I was like, oh my gosh. I was thinking, if he makes a move, these people at the light around me, what are they going to do? Are they just going to drive off when the light goes green? Is anybody going to help me? What's the point of, I don't know, I've never been a smoker. What's the point of the filter on those little skinny cigars? What's that all about? It was a nice ride, though. The weather's so nice. It was a beautiful ride on the scooter. This is the longest ride I've taken on the Mega Scooter 2.0. I saw it. It was a cigar. It was like this long. It was dark like a cigar, but skinny, and then had a filter on it. Yeah, they'd film it and then call the police, right? Oh, I'd be dead by then. They wouldn't call the police, then film it. This dude gets me so aggravated. I get you well, if I aggravate you, call me on the air. Get it off your chest. And Kathy got me a nice new keychain for the Mega Scooter 2.0. Cool keychain. Matches it. It's red. I'm the only guy that you got a beef with. You can call me on the air. The calls are all screenless. Yeah, the inside of this jacket is filled with lint. I don't know what happened to this jacket. Well, I'll tell you. You know what happened is I told Kathy I'm going to do the laundry. Let me handle the laundry. Don't do the laundry, And I'm not very good at doing the laundry, obviously. He wasn't mad. He looked like he was going to jack me. Yeah, Kathy's going to have to take over the laundry. I probably haven't emptied out the lint screen. That's probably the problem. I don't know.
Celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. Our number toll-free, 888-GO-KANE-1. If you're just tuning in, again today, lots of breaking news on this program. We're breaking news. Turns out that Jack Smith, the special prosecutor investigating the Mar-a-Lago document case, has had a second federal grand jury in secret at the federal courthouse in Miami. And they're telling us that the Miami grand jury, that was a secret to us until, and I say us, I mean you and me, I'm not using this royal we stuff, that it was kept secret from the public until yesterday. Very scary stuff. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's John in Wellington.
Hey, John, what's up?
I think documents were illegally removed from the White House, and I think a grand jury should be implemented. Joe Biden was vice president when thousands of documents from the White House were taken. They were put in his garage, in an unsecure warehouse, and someplace in Chinatown for any CCP spy to look at. As vice president, he had no right to take these documents. I think the grand jury is in order.
Yeah.
I don't know why the rest of the country isn't looking at this.
Exactly. Exactly. But and remember when Biden said, next to my Corvette, he was trying to turn the ladies on in the press corps next to my Corvette. What a weirdo sleaze bucket he is. You know, this secret grand jury in Miami, I'll ask you, because you're in Wellington, here in Florida, do you think there's any way that there was a federal grand jury that we didn't know about, the public didn't know about, in Florida, in investigating Trump, and Ron DeSantis didn't know about it? There's no way. He had to know about it.
No, he was sitting on it. He knew about it. He was sitting on it. He was keeping it a secret. Hopefully someone in the press today or tomorrow will ask him about it. I don't know if he'll tell the truth or not, but it's my opinion that he absolutely, not only did he know about it, he probably approved it.
Well, it's a federal grand jury. The governor can't approve it. I mean, he may approve of it, but he can't, he has no authority over it. But, that's why he's been running around so happy, even though he's double digits behind. He figures at some point Trump is going to get arrested and not be on the ballots, and he'll be in first place then.
I want someone on the left to explain to me what Mr. Trump did that was illegal. He was president of the United States. He had every right to take these documents. So did Mr. Clinton, so did Mr. Obama, so did every president.
And he was actually the sitting president when he returned to Mar-a-Lago on Inauguration Day. So he brought them with him as president. So at that point, it's on the records office, the government, to take the documents back if he's not allowed to have them, not him. He was the president when he took them to Mar-a-Lago still.
Yep. There was a theory going around, I don't know if you've heard about it, but one of the theories is that on his last day in office, Mr. Trump declassified the documents.
Okay, yes. Crossfire, that is true. That that was what I was going to mention next, actually, while you were on the phone. Yeah, no, this is true. It came out yesterday. This was unknown until yesterday. President Trump declassified all the Crossfire hurricane records and documents. That's the spying on Trump Tower, which continued until he was president. They were spying at the Oval Office, remember? And what they believed is he had those classified documents in a binder at Mar-a-Lago, and that's what they broke in to get. And they thought they were in his safe. Remember, when they broke into Mar-a-Lago, they brought a specialist with them, a safecracker, and they broke into the president's safe, and they were looking for that binder. And that binder shows that Obama, those records that he declassified show that Obama okayed the spying on a presidential candidate at Trump Tower, and also, I'm assuming, Biden was in on the meeting, and it shows that Biden approved of it too and was involved in it. And what the story is that they raided Mar-a-Lago, not really for classified documents, but to get that Crossfire hurricane binder that he declassified that shows Obama and Biden okayed the spying on Trump Tower.
Yes, that's the last thing they want the public to see.
Yep, all right. Yeah. Yeah, finish up. Go ahead.
On all of these criminal activities, and Mr. Trump is not a part of any of them.
That's right. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. Yeah, that story yesterday that with the DeSantis donors, that story has been totally covered up too. That story yesterday is huge news. That DeSantis, the donor with Bud Light, the donor that's with Moderna, and the puberty blocker pharmaceutical company, that story, they're sitting on that. And it's all over the internet now, but I'm talking about the mainstream corporate media. That's why Tucker Carlson has 100 million views on his debut show. May even be more than that now since I've been talking. And Fox News lost out to MSNBC because they're not reporting the news. And I'll tell you, we had a lot of hope. I know you guys did. We all did. That CNN was going to clean itself up with this Chris Licht, and they have fired the guy that took over CNN. And it looks like it was a rebellion. The way the story is being reported, the new head of CNN has been fired, and it's being reported that there was a staff revolt, and that's why it happened. I don't believe that. I think it's a cover story. I believe CNN is an arm of the deep state, right? You know, Dana Bash, I told you, was CIA. Anderson Cooper, CIA. I know this sounds crazy, but it's true. And I know you might think I'm nuts, but it's true. Okay, I may not believe in those UFO stories that they're talking about with alien bodies at Area 51, but I do know that CNN is CIA. And I think it was the deep state that got rid of Chris Licht. And I'll tell you, Chris Licht, his exit from CNN, it looked pretty quick. It's almost like they went to him with a file and said, resign or else. He didn't even fight it. You know, at the beginning of the week, things were brewing. Things were getting hot at CNN. And Chris Licht, that they just fired yesterday, earlier this week, he apologized to the staff for his behavior, which I thought was odd. And then yesterday they fired him, and then he released a statement that he's looking forward to new things. So I've never seen someone in a position like that leave so easily. You know, and the reason that they've gotten rid of Chris Licht is because if you notice all these stories, right? The fake pool story at Mar-a-Lago destroying the evidence, the fake tape of Trump with the Iran plans and all this stuff, all come from CNN. And with Chris Licht over there, there's accountability on sourcing and reporting, and he's not allowing them to put all their lies out there under the guise of news. That's why he's out. All right, our number's toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Karen from Coral Springs. How?
Hey, what's up?
I need to talk to you off air, please.
Really? Yeah. Is it serious?
I work in Miami. We'll start from there.
Okay. Is everyone okay? Is someone? Did someone?
Well, yes.
So you want me to put you on hold, and then when I take a break, you've got something to share with me?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, how am I going to go on now until the? I'll put you on hold. We'll talk during the break. Oh, this ought to be good. You know, this ought to be. You know, Steve and I, we have people give us stories and information. They don't usually do it that way. They're usually a little more stealthy about it, but that's okay. You hang in there, Carrie from Coral Springs. I'm dying to know what it is you're going to share, and I'll pick up the phone during the break, and you can tell me what you got. But you know, these stories that we're talking about today, the secret Trump federal grand jury in Miami, the donor story of DeSantis yesterday, these are humongous stories that should be just be breaking news sounders non-stop. Should be breaking news sounders non-stop. And we're not hearing anything. Because there's an effort going on right now. There's an effort going on right now that because of Trump's poll numbers. I haven't looked at the polls in a couple days. So I'm going to look at the polls and see where Trump is. And when we get back from the next break, I'll go through the latest polls. Unless I can pull them up real quick here. Hold on. Let me see here. And the poll numbers are what really have them freaked out. Now listen, there's a fake poll out that shows Ron DeSantis is gaining. That's not a poll, it's a survey, which is not a scientific poll, and it was done by the Never Back Down PAC, which is DeSantis' own political action committee. So the DeSantis campaign released a survey where they said DeSantis is gaining on Trump. By the way, in the DeSantis PAC survey, which is not a poll, he's still double digits behind Trump in that one. So don't believe this fake news story that DeSantis is gaining on Donald Trump. It's a lie, and it's being promoted by everyone. I got the latest polls here in front of me, and I'll go through them when we get back. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are calling from. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Doing all right. What do you have for us today?
Well,
many years ago, when my grandmother was in a nursing home, and I was still, in college, she was informed, or the family was informed by the nursing home, that the way she should handle the financial aspect of it was that she should use the balance of her.
I don't have a long break until the top of the hour, so. Carrie? I've only got. Yeah, but I don't have a long break till the top of the hour. Oh, I'll talk to you at 8 o'clock, okay? Because I don't have time now, but hold on.
And that's what ended up happening. So here, my widowed grandmother who was ill and had a lot of alone time and was having the insecurity of running out of money, had to deal with that, and had to worry about potentially being a financial burden on the family. Wasn't able to leave anything to her kids, and this was not the right advice. It was the right advice for the nursing home for themselves, but not for her. And so when I learned later on in life, that when I became a young attorney and learned about this Medicaid planning and realized that she could have qualified and had Medicaid pay most of the cost and not had to worry about spending down her assets and having all this financial insecurity, it was very upsetting, but it turned out to be something that I wanted to do to help other people not have to go through that situation, not have to worry about running out of money before they run out of life. And that's what we do with the Siegel Law Group. So we help people, even if you have what you think may be too much in assets or too much in income, we help a lot of people still qualify and protect and shelter their assets. So that's what we do with the Siegel Law Group.
Absolutely, and it can put such a financial strain not just on the senior, but to their family too. And it doesn't have to be that way. Give the Siegel Law Group a call. If you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the show, it's a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group. You can find them online at siegellawgroup.com or give them a call toll-free, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll finish out the week tomorrow.
All right, I'll look forward to it.
All right, back after this. All right, we are back, and Carrie, who wanted to talk to me off the air, Carrie, got to wait till the top of the hour at 8 o'clock because, well, we don't have a break where I can talk during the break. Until then, I'm dying to know what he wants to share. Oh, my goodness. So call me back at the top of the hour at 8 o'clock, Carrie. The suspense is killing me. I almost can't go on with the show until I know what it is you want to share with me off the air. All right, now, I do want to say this self-destructive thing that is going on with so many businesses today is insane when you look at the destruction of Bud Light. You know, Bud Light, with that transgendered spokesperson, has destroyed the Bud Light brand beyond repair. Bud Light as a brand is going to be done for the next 20 years or more, or maybe it'll be done forever. They may retire that brand. It's so bad. Nobody wants Bud Light now. You know, guys don't want to be drinking it. Everyone's going to think they're gay or trans. And it's just and Bud Light's not the best beer anyway, right? I mean, come on. It doesn't have much taste to it. It's, but whatever. But it was just destructive to a brand. In fact, that is the most self-destruction I've ever seen a company do to a national brand. There's been incidences like Jared from Subway, when he got arrested for his sickness. That didn't help Subway, but Subway didn't do that to themselves. They didn't know about Jared and what he was doing. You understand what I mean? And we've seen companies ever since double down on it. We've talked about Target with their Pride stuff. Fox News is doing a month of Pride stuff, and they highlighted a transgender teen who was born a girl who lives as a boy and described them as a typical American teenager, this transgender teenager. That's Fox News. After the exodus of viewers to Fox News, where they're losing in prime time to MSNBC now, Lawrence O'Donnell and these people are beating Fox. It's crazy. And they're still doing this thing this month. It's crazy. Now, Bud Light. There's been a lot of talk. What could Bud Light do to save the company, to save the brand? What could they do? And, the only thing I could think of is if they apologized and then made Don Jr. the spokesperson or something. That'd be about it, you know. I mean, and even that would be tough, you know. Tough. Well, Bud Light, have you seen the news story with Bud Light? Apparently, Bud Light doesn't care. Bud Light is co-sponsoring a June 17th all-ages Pride event in Flagstaff, Arizona, despite having to refund stores for their beer. Keep in mind, they're having this Pride event. It's called Pride in the Pines. It'll feature drag queens and other performers, according to a report from Fox News. Other high-profile sponsors of the all-ages drag show event include Old Navy, Toyota, Coca-Cola, though Bud Light is featured in an event flyer. I mean, Bud Light, I mean, you know. So now we've gotten beyond where it's this girl that was in charge of the marketing for them to do this. I don't get it. I understand activists and what activists are all about, but typically corporations, when it comes to politics, that's why corporations donate to both sides. They never really want to take a position. You know, these big brands like this, and this is just, they just don't seem to care. They'd rather go out of business, I guess, and have the brand completely destroyed. It may become like a fringe brand among liberal trans activists or something, Bud Light, in the future. I don't know. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Denise from Stewart.
Hey, Denise. What's up?
I just want to say that, you know, I appreciate your show every morning, giving out all this information. It's unfortunate because a lot of people who are on the other side don't get to hear this. It's just like the story about Chick-fil-A. You know, 2 years ago or whatever it is when that CEO came out with a statement, and nobody believed me. And now it's coming out, and I see that a lot of people are not going to Chick-fil-A. And that will last for a little while. It's just like the Target, the Walmart. You know, I don't patronize any of these places. But I think more people need to know about these things and continue to do it, just like they're doing with the Bud Light.
Yeah.
The same old saying, go woke, go broke. You know, I read all of these things every single morning online, and I talk to other people, and they have no clue to what's going on.
Well, you know, most people don't follow the news, and of those that follow the news, all of them do not follow political news. And a lot of these stories that I've been bringing up and breaking this week are not in any of the mainstream sources where people who just casually watch the news would find out about it. You know, these stories I had, you know, these stories about the donors to DeSantis, Bud Light guy, a Moderna guy, the puberty blocker pharmaceutical guy, and he's also got the guy with the Chinese company, you know, the CCP. I mean, that story, I talked about it for 3 hours yesterday with Steve, and it's disappeared. There aren't even any updates on it.
Well, how about the biggest last? They're going to either arrest, or if he doesn't show up, Biden, Hunter, for child support.
The
things that he's done, not all the other crimes that we're not going after, but we're going to bring him in for child support.
Listen, the stripper. Well, you know, listen, she was good enough for him to have. She was good enough for him to have unprotected sex with.
I mean, you're going to pick that little battle rather than the war.
They're not going to arrest Hunter. Hunter Biden's not going to get arrested. Think about this. Think about this. Hunter Biden had a rental car. He turned the rental car in with a crack pipe in the back seat. What do you think? What would they do if I did that? If I rented a car and turned it in and it had a crack pipe and crack in the back seat, what do you think they would have done to me? You think they'd have called the police on? Yeah.
It's terrible, but I just wish that your show and all these other ones that I listen to in the morning or even get on my, on my feed, I just wish that everybody would listen to all these things. I don't know, do they think by just putting their head in the sand, everything's going to go away? I just don't get it.
Well, the reality is, you know, when I was growing up and I heard about J. Edgar Hoover and his files, I thought that was pretty much urban legend. And now I realized it was all true. And the FBI has been running this government since J. Edgar Hoover's rise with the FBI. And that's the way of it, and that's it. I mean, there's a lot of other people in that group, the donor class, the Uniparty, and all this stuff. But it seems to me that the FBI have been running the country. And yeah.
What do we do? What do we do to stop all this?
The only thing we can do is support and vote for the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. Yeah, and there's the way that they're behaving right now with the multiple grand juries and all of these things. He's so popular that they know he can't be beat. So they're trying to do something so that he can be kept off the primary ballots. That's what they're trying to do now. They know he's the calling for Trump's return in 2024 in this country is bigger than any man has ever had calling for him to be president. And that's why they're in a panic. Hey, listen, make sure you tell all your friends up in Martin County and Stewart about the show on our radio station and to tune us in, all right? All right, I appreciate that. All right. All right, take care. I love Stewart. I love Martin County. It's right up the road. I go there all the time. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Sean, Riverside, California. Hey.
All right, Sean, what's up?
Hey, there is such a thing, actually, as abusing the power of the grand jury. And since the War of 1812, there's been a steady movement by some to actually remove the grand jury from the American people. So all of these abuses of the grand jury are going to stir up resentment against one of the elements of the American people having a say in what goes on in our system. If you look at 1992 Supreme Court versus Williams, Antonin Scalia had written a majority brief saying that the grand jury is essentially its own form of a branch of government because it gives the people the say on what happens in the courthouses. And this is kind of scary. They keep using the grand juries against Donald Trump. That means people are going to resent the grand jury. That phrase, indicted ham sandwich, has been around for over 100 years at this point, and they are trying to make people resent that we have juries.
Well, if it was that easy, they wouldn't have Jack Smith wouldn't have two grand juries, the D.C. grand jury and the secret Miami grand jury. You know, the reason they have two grand juries is if you have two grand juries, you double the chance of an indictment because they have no evidence.
Into something with that. If they are misleading the grand jury when they impanel it, that actually can get the whole grand jury thrown out. That's on appeals. The whole lawfare approach the DNC and the FBI are taking to Donald Trump is to basically exhaust him so he can't effectively campaign, and at the same time hoping that someone will forget what they have for.
Yeah, and you know, another thing too is when you got two grand juries for the same case, this Miami grand jury has been a secret. This federal grand jury in Miami has been a secret, just leaked out yesterday, okay? They got the D.C. grand jury and the Miami grand jury, both on the document case. So they know what's working and not working with the D.C. grand jury, so they know what to do and what not to do to the Miami grand. It's like one of them's a test. You understand what I mean?
On that, you're not actually supposed to use the grand jury to do fishing expeditions. That's actually in several documents you can find online, on different justice websites.
You sound like a libertarian.
I sound like a American.
Yeah, libertarian. I know. Yeah, but unfortunately, that's not the real world you're in there. You know, you're in the world of how things should work, and in the world of should would be a great place to live, probably a paradise. But we don't live in the world of should. We live in the real world, and the real world is the system is controlled by very evil, corrupt, power-hungry lunatics. And
by the people.
Well, okay. Listen, appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We're a week and a half away from Father's Day. There is still time to go to patrioticprintsusa.com and order your limited edition print of the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. You know, this is a very affordable print. It comes in 3 different sizes. I have 2 of them, one here at the radio studio and one at home hanging on my wall. These prints are awesome. And patrioticprintsusa.com, that's prints with an S, they commissioned this very well-known and incredible artist, Mr. Michael Israel, to paint this beautiful portrait of our president, and they turned it into this limited edition print that they're offering to listeners of our radio station first. So it's a great gift for Father's Day. There is not a MAGA dad in America that wouldn't love this print. If you've already gotten something for Dad, get him this too. It's so affordable. And whatever you got, Dad, give that to them first and give them the print second, because after the print, anything else would be anticlimactic. It's a beautiful print. So go to patrioticprintsusa.com. That's Prince with an S. patrioticprintsusa.com, and order your Trump print for Father's Day. Also, a portion of each print sold is donated to the official re-election campaign of President Trump, his 2024 campaign. It's patrioticprintsusa.com, Prince with an S, patrioticprintsusa.com. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the air. We'll be back after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach.
Steve Kane Show. Oh, hey, Kara, I thought that was you. What? So you got? I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of time, so you got to be quick. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Wow. Wow. Mm. Mm-hmm. And then those rain chances will be increasing in the afternoon hours. We will see some scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast until 5 and 6 o'clock, and very warm highs in the upper 80s. Mm-hmm. Brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. I appreciate it. Okay, take. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm being stealth because I'm live streaming on YouTube, so you know. They cannot hear you, but they can hear me. Look out for slow traffic southbound on the turnpike as you no, but I appreciate it. No. It'll be all confidential. Take care. Thanks for the info. All right, take care. That was the source about the grand jury. That's why. My daughter said she likes your avatar tattoo, The Last Airbender. She saw it on behind me, I guess. I never noticed it was The Last Airbender.
One of my favorite shows ever. I was gonna say, you see the breaking news of Cuba and China?
No, what happened?
I sent you a link from text.
Oh.
I saw it on Instagram and just like less than an hour.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my goodness.
outdoors and the open road? Don't miss RV Hour, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Hosted by Giant Recreation World second generation owner and CEO Larry McNamara and his co-host Blaine Adams. RV Hour, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. right here on the True Oldest Channel.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian, Steve Kane, joining us another day of humongous breaking news on this program. Hey, Steve. Oh, man, I mean, just huge breaking news today. I don't know how long you've been listening.
Like everybody else, following the tease that you threw out there with your listener on hold that was going to share stuff off the air. We basically make our living on the air.
No, he is a protected source. He gave me some info I'll have to tell you after the show. And Steve, and people in media often have confidential sources.
What is the reason to give him protected status?
I'll tell you after the show. I'm not going to indicate anything, but he could be in some trouble. I'll tell you after the show, and but it's got to be off the air. What somebody call? Okay, so Steve, someone calls me, a confidential source, to give me information, so that you and I have it, and you want me to burn a confidential source and go public with what they know?
This had better be pretty good, because right now it smacks to me of. Am I really? You know me pretty well. Am I going to be impressed by this when you tell me?
Yeah, it's a very well placed, high up source, and I'm not going to burn our source, Steve. And I'll tell you, but you can't out the person. I can't tell you if you're going to burn them.
Tell me. You can tell. All right.
I need your word that you're not going to burn them.
I'm based on what you're saying, that I will agree with you when I find out who it is, that this is something that should be embargoed or whatever you want to call it. I'll yield to your judgment.
Yeah, and they gave me some information, which I will verify through a. This is how journalism's supposed to work. That I got a source, and by the way, that's a longtime source on this program, and somebody that you and I have met. They've given me some information. They're a very credible source. I will verify it. And I will sprinkle that information into the dialogue over the next days or weeks as we discuss these issues. But I'm not gonna reveal a confidential source, Steve. What would that? You kept something confidential once, and it wasn't even important. Steve, it happened on the air. I didn't know it was going to happen.
Meeting.
I get a call on the air live. I didn't know that was going to happen. The calls are screenless.
Just saying, too many times we're doing the show and all of a sudden you throw out something with it.
I didn't throw it out. The guy called me on the air. He says, I need to talk to you off the air. I have some information for you. And I talked to him during the top of the hour, and he gave me some information.
Makes sense when I find out, and I'll be comfortable with
Well, I can't tell you if you're gonna reveal the source. You have to give your word that you're not going to reveal the source, no matter how you feel about it. So I can't tell you if you're going to reveal the source. I gave the guy my word. I mean, I don't understand, Steve, when somebody gives. Let me tell people, there was a time, I just tell people one thing. We used to, many years ago, before YouTube and the internet really, the internet was young and YouTube didn't exist. We had a local cable access show, the Steve Kane Show. It's kind of based on Midnight Blue in New York, if anybody remembers Midnight Blue. It was, yeah, it was the midnight blue of South Florida. And we did the Steve Kane cable access television show, which I have every episode of on tape in a box. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Some of the things we did on that show were insane. I mean, they were things that have never been on television before or since. We were... Oh, the judge? Oh, my goodness. Steve goes to the sex shows, of course, which we did a lot of. We went to a sex dungeon in Fort Lauderdale, and it was not just a regular sex dungeon. It was down the street from the Broward County Courthouse, and it was upscale. It was kind of like an Eyes Wide Shut kind of place. It was, the people that go here were wealthy and connected. And the women showed themselves, you know, the dominatrix, but the men who were there, they were wearing masks. And Steve interviewed a man. You sure you want me to tell this on the air? Do people want to hear this? Okay. Okay. Steve interviewed a man who was naked, completely naked, except for the leather mask he was wearing, which is kind of like a mask that the Gimp wore in Pulp Fiction, same mask. And yeah, and he was lying on a wooden table, and he had 3 of the most beautiful women that have ever walked the earth torturing him. One was burning candle wax on him, hot candle wax.
Dungeon.
Well, don't get to the end of the story before I walk people through. Okay, so the guy is naked except for the Gimp mask, and these 3 women are torturing him. One is burning candle wax on his body. Another one is no, not the private parts. I'll get to that in a second. What they did to the private parts is worse. Another one had kind of like a horse whip, was hitting him with it. This is while Steve's interviewing him. The third had a rope that was attached to a pulley system in the ceiling, and the rope was tied to the man's private parts, and she was pulling on that as Steve was interviewing him. And you asked him if he was a Broward County judge, and he just giggled. When you asked him, I've got this on tape, I've got this recording. Yeah, the dungeon, it was pretty, you know.
Been that bad.
Oh, well, it was with some heavy editing and a lot of things, you know, covered up. But I have the unedited version. I have the raw footage. But anyway, we did a show on swingers where we went to the swingers club. And I'd never been to a swingers club before, and I've never been to one since, and it was an awful place to be. And the one where you wait for the buffet. They brought a buffet, and I said, who was going to eat that in here? And you went up there and started eating. I said, you're out of your mind.
Okay.
But there was this swinging couple told us some things that you held in confidence, and you said, and I said, that's the whole show. You said, no, they were journalists. They have told us this in confidence. I'll remind you after the show with the other thing what it was. And when a source gives you information, you don't burn the source. And the guy that I talked to at the top of the hour off the air is a high-placed source that gave some very interesting information about one of the topics that I've been discussing on the program this morning, and I'm not going to reveal my source. We're journalists. Just like you protected the swingers, I'm going to protect that guy.
Using his name, which I'm very...
No, if I tell, no, if I gave more information than what I've given already on the air, you know, it would be too revealing. So no. But I'll tell you what he told me after the show, and it'll come out in the conversation on the program over the next few days or week as the topic goes on. You just guys won't realize that it came from that source. That's all. You know, I'm going to bury it in with stuff, and that's how it works. People give us information all the time off the air, It just usually doesn't happen live during the show like it did with that caller, right? All right, our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. Maybe I'll bring some of those tapes on the next cruise, Steve, and we'll show some of those old Steve Kane TV shows on the cruise. That might not be a bad idea. Listen, we're going to take our break. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
A good home security system has a bajillion parts. You've got your motion sensors, glass break detectors, camera lenses, signal relays, but none of that really matters if you don't have one important piece, a human being. That's right, a real human being. When a Sloman's Home Security Advisor visits a home, they get to know the people that live there. They listen and learn. That's how they come up with the best solution to keep you safe. Yeah, you can buy all those fancy gadgets yourself, but what are all those without the humans behind the technology? Sloman's believes in their people so much, they give you the technology for free. So not only do you get a human security advisor, you'll receive a custom home security system.
We did somebody said, why would you do that? We did a show. It wasn't promoting it. We had a psychiatrist that was part of that show, and it was a show on weird perverts is what it was about, perversions and perverts, and we had a psychiatrist that was part of the team on that particular episode of that show. It was a very risque show. It's, Oh, some of the other ones we did were insane. Insane.
It's official. The print of President Trump from PatrioticPrintsUSA.com is don't just take my word for it. This is Barbara.
Hi, I got my print 2 days ago, and I ordered it the day that the first time I heard it on your show, and I already have it up, and it's right above my flag of Trump 2024. I have a shrine in my house. All the Democrats, they come into my
We did a thing with waterboarding where I got waterboarded once. We had a personal appearance.
Order your Trump print right now online at PatrioticPrintsUSA.com. That's Prince with an S. PatrioticPrintsUSA.com.
Hold on. I'll tell you guys about that. We had an appearance in a weird location at a very strange place, and I wasn't sure what kind of turnout we would get because of the place it was at. And it was during when waterboarding was controversial at Gitmo, when it was just in the news. So I said, well, why don't I get waterboarded? So Steve waterboarded me. And we had, I don't know, 200-300 people showed up to see me get waterboarded. It was not fun. Oh my goodness. All right, we are back. Now, we talk often about Lighthouse Medical Center and their incredible treatment for neuropathy that rid you, Steve, of your neuropathy symptoms and has done so much great work ridding people in this audience of their neuropathy symptoms. But a lot of people have neuropathy and don't know it. And I'm going to go through a list of these symptoms. If you have any of these symptoms, call Lighthouse Medical Center and have them take a look at you. You may have neuropathy. Now, remember, it's a no-charge consultation with Lighthouse Medical Center if you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Okay, guys? So if you have any of these symptoms, you may have neuropathy. You want to call Lighthouse Medical Center, have them check you out, and find out if you have neuropathy or not. If you don't, they'll tell you. Okay? But if you do, oh boy, you're going to get the relief that you didn't think was possible. Here's the main symptoms: numbness, pain, burning or tingling in the hands and feet, muscle weakness, dizziness, loss of balance, falling all the time, muscle twitching, the feeling of pins and needles in your hands and feet. Maybe you have no feeling at all. Maybe you have multiple symptoms in rotation. Maybe you have many of these symptoms at the same time. You may have neuropathy. Lighthouse Medical Center can help, guys. Okay, here's their number. They can do more than just diagnose you with neuropathy. If you got it, they can treat you and rid you of your neuropathy symptoms like they did Steve Kane. Their number is 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. All right, so let me recap the major news story of today. It leaked out yesterday that there's been a secret grand jury, a federal grand jury, in the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case, right? There's been one in D.C. We've all known about D.C. Jack Smith's got a grand jury in Washington, D.C. Jack Smith has had a second and secret grand jury for about 3 weeks that no one has reported on in Miami at the federal courthouse in Miami.
Smith has some kind of there's something negative going on between Jack Smith and the Trump team.
There's something going on negative between him and any Republican. His wife was a producer of a documentary about Michelle Obama. All right, I mean, my goodness. But this grand jury in Miami, which has been hearing witness testimony, no one reported on this. And it's been down there for 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, okay? And just leaked out yesterday. Now, there's a story today that the Trump lawyers have been told by Jack Smith to expect an indictment against President Trump possibly next week, that he is the target of the investigation. Yeah.
I want to interrupt you a second. At this point, if that indictment comes down, what do you think the public reaction to that's going to be? Let's say as reflected in the polls, which is one of the measures.
Oh, I'll tell you. I think the reaction. I don't think the reaction is going to be that much, because what's going on, there's so much confusion going on. Okay, there's so much confusion going on with the public because the
public. It'll take a couple of days to sink in fully.
Well, yeah.
This is going out on a limb. I think the reaction in the polls is going to be extremely pro-Trump.
I don't think there's going to be any polls we see on it, and I think the reporting on it is going to be mild. As hard as that is to believe and imagine, I think it's going to be mild. This Miami, so Jack Smith has two grand juries, a D.C. grand jury and a Miami grand jury. And as I was talking earlier, I believe the reason for the two grand juries, he doubles his chance of an indictment with two grand juries, and which is, I've never heard of two grand juries in the same case against someone before.
See, the D.C. grand jury in a case against Trump is going to be a cakewalk for the...
Steve, there's a lot of Democrats in Miami.
I'm saying it's going to be a cake...
Okay, so the Miami, don't assume because Miami went Republican this last time that the grand jury is filled with Republicans, okay? You know, I wouldn't assume that at all.
No, but I think he's going to get a better reception.
I wouldn't be so sure, Steve. I would not be so sure. And I would not be so sure. And I think there's so much confusion going on about these cases and how many of them are. Like the story of the Miami grand jury, I don't think most people following the story realize that it's been a secret grand jury that we just found out about. I think there's just, I thought it was in Washington. Oh, it's in Miami? Oh, yeah, Mar-a-Lago's in Florida. That makes sense. By the way, why did they do it at the federal courthouse in Miami, not the one in Palm Beach? Right? I mean, to me, it seems like they're grand jury shopping.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Palm Beach is going to be more sympathetic to
That at least that's what they think. They're grand jury shopping. Yeah, I mean, this is, we're in completely uncharted territory, man. All right, let's take some calls. Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Tom, Florida. Palm Beach is, I don't think that they'd be grand jury shopping if they were going to find Palm Beach ideal to pick a grand jury from here. It's DeSantis lost, I believe, Palm Beach County when it came to Democrats and Republicans. I believe more Democrats in Palm Beach County came out for that. And also, too, I mean, aren't they two grand juries because Washington, he took the documents from Washington and Florida because they found them, and because...
No. There's two grand juries because Donald Trump is double digits ahead in every poll. That's why there's two grand juries. Come on.
Okay, all right. I just was talking.
I mean, you understand that Donald Trump did no crime, right?
To be honest with you...
No, lie to us. Lie to us.
There's so many things. It's there's so many things that they're trying to throw at that guy.
What are one of the things they're throwing at Trump that you think he's guilty of?
I honestly,
back to the honestly.
Things.
Really, pick one of them. What's he most? What's he guilty of? He's guilty of a couple things. You think? What are they?
Could he have taken the documents and
That's not a crime. That's not a crime.
I'm just okay. I know you're going to defend. I'm just saying. Okay. Could he have taken the documents in an improper procedure? Okay, that's what they're trying to slap.
No. Hold on. No. So hold on. He returned to Mar-a-Lago on Inauguration Day. He was the sitting president of the United States, so he could take anything he wanted with him. He was the president. So what crime is he guilty of in your mind?
I just said, I cannot go into everything because I'm not like you, Brian. Speculate and throw 1,000 opinions.
You did speculate. You said you think he's guilty of a couple of things. That's speculation.
Yeah, well, what everybody who's trying to get him on, they think he's guilty. It's the Stormy Daniels thing or the
Stormy Daniels. Okay, there's a big story going on. I've been hearing it on our news. Johan Vandersloot is on his way to America, right? And you know why he's coming to America? He's the guy they believe killed Natalie Holloway. Do you know why he's coming? Do you know why he's coming? For what? For what though? Do you know for what?
For the murder of that girl.
No, not the murder. He killed her in Aruba. They never found the body. No. He ran an embezzlement scheme against Natalie Holloway's mother. He told Natalie Holloway's mother if she paid him money, he would tell her where the body's located. She paid him, and he didn't tell her. Excuse me. Well, listen to me, Steve. I'm getting there. So Natalie Holloway's mother paid this creep money. He said he would tell her where the body was. He never did. He lied. So he's being charged with blackmail of Natalie Holloway's mother and embezzlement, all kinds of things. They're charging him, not Natalie Holloway's mother, because she was the victim of the blackmail scheme, all right, of the shakedown. Now, let me finish my point. You mentioned Stormy Daniels. In that case, like Natalie Holloway's mom, Trump was the victim. You don't prosecute the victim in a shakedown. You prosecute the person that is demanding money in exchange for something. So I don't know why Trump would, in your mind, should be prosecuted for Stormy Daniels blackmailing him.
And you are Brian, you never, ever stop defending this man. All I'm saying is that these are the charges.
Hold on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You didn't address. Brian made a good point. You didn't address it, and I think I'd like to hear the answer to that. Why would in the situation that Brian outlined, Donald Trump would definitely be the victim of a blackmail attempt? Why would you charge the victim rather than the person that was doing the blackmailing? I'd like to hear that.
because they're trying to get them.
No, because they don't like it.
With us, so you agree with us that the whole thing is a phony baloney setup? Yes, is what you're.
Okay, caller, you're lucky. It's time for a break. We'll be, Steve. We're 3 minutes. We're 3 minutes late for the break. We got a break. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
On the lookout for a beautiful fire blocking the left lane southbound on I-95 at PGA Boulevard. This report sponsored by Limester.com. At Limester.com, they offer 50 different custom window treatments, including faux wood blinds and shutters, all at flashy SAP retail. Plus, they'll send you free samples before you buy. And right now, save 50% off any order during their Memorial Day sale. Limester.com. That's traffic on Sat.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Saturday, June 10th, watch, wager, and win on the exciting Belmont Stakes at ABKC. And check out all the great OTV action in the Paddock Restaurant with over 130 new HD TVs and big screens, delicious lunches, a full bar, and an impressive wine list. ABKC is your entertainment destination with poker, casino table games, OTV, exceptional dining, and exciting events like the 155th running of the Belmont this Saturday. Go to pbkennelclub.com for more info.
Are you caring for your husband or wife with Alzheimer's disease or dementia? A study funded by the National Institutes of Health is looking to understand what your experience has been like as a spousal caregiver. Participation will include 4 online visits completed in the comfort of your own home. You will be monetarily compensated for your time. For more information, please call us at 713-348-8167. That is 713-348-8167. Once again, that is 713-348-8167.
If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association, and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. Tom Laporta will give you a free evaluation. Laporta Contracting was voted one of the best general contractor and best roofers in South Florida. He's honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and will never sell you a roof you don't need. If you have an insurance company, immediately. Tom Laporta, your walls are already finished, but allow Tom to negotiate directly with your insurance company on the cost of all repairs, so you don't necessarily need current year public adjuster or a lawyer. Tom can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
Hi, it's Kate from Will For You. Your home remains your best investment, so why not jazz it up with new flooring? We're featuring Kerastan carpets, waterproof LVT, and engineered wood. For over 30 years, Kerastan has been a very important part of our flooring options. The high style and emphasizes on products that add value, aesthetics, and ease of everyday maintenance. Make Kerastan the best choice for your next flooring purchase. Here at Will For You, you can get the very best price on that new Kerastan carpet, who has long been a household name. We want our new homeowners to discover the great value in Kerastan products. We have the entire carpet collection from trendy patterns, cool textures, and for the special
8:30.
extra soft fabric. For the extra busy areas, select a waterproof luxury vinyl plank or tile, or wood visuals that add value and class to any home. Let's not forget Will For You's commitment to low prices every day. Visit our Kerastan showroom in Jupiter and Stewart and on the web at willfloor.com and let your hometown floor store that has it all floor you.
When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain, but the biggest pain is the cost. Not with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is painless, and the prices are painless too. Call today, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. BrightonDentalCare.com.
Good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day, the buy one get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way too.
Go to mypillow.com and use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, and buy your My Pillow 2.0. Right now, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, we are back. Yep. Yep. Okay. Tom.
I'd like to go back to that moment and get an answer to my question. I didn't, because Brian just taking a break.
5 minutes late, Steve.
I understand, but let's recreate it. The bottom line of this is, if Donald Trump was being blackmailed by this Stormy Daniels, how does he turn out to be the one that did something wrong if he was the victim
Correct.
of extortion?
Correct. Yeah. Tom. And Tom, you've had plenty of time to think of an answer, so when you call back, it should be a good one. Yeah, he calls all the time. He'll call again. I've got a very good memory, and if he doesn't call in 12 years, I'll remember. Okay? Okay? All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm on my way to work.
He's back. There's Tom.
I told you I'm back. There he is. Listen, answer the question. Okay, the question. Okay, I will answer the question. Is Donald Trump being blackmailed by kids?
Hold on 1 second. Before you just to get the thing set up properly, before you answer the question, repeat what you think the question is.
You're asking me if Stormy Daniels is blackmailing Donald Trump.
No, I knew you didn't understand. I said if, I'm giving you a hypothetical, all right? If that is the case, if she was, which appears to be what they're saying, they're trying to charge him for I don't know what they're charging him for, extortion or whatever, but she was the one who committed the crime. Why is the victim being charged?
Because they're after Donald Trump. They don't want
it's a phony. So what you're saying, you're agreeing with Brian and I that it's a phony baloney indictment.
I agree with you and Brian on a lot of things. I disagree with you heavily on a lot.
You want me? Okay. All right. See, he's a tough guy, Tom. He stands up even when he looks like a jerk.
No, but you when properly questioned, the truth comes up.
Yep. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Mike in Boca.
Hey, Mike.
Everything since 2015 has been BS. None of these are all made up charges, trumped up charges. Nothing sticks. They don't want him. What they're trying to do is they're trying to smoke him out. They're not going to find anything. They don't want to find anything. They just want to smoke him out so he doesn't run for mayor, so he doesn't run again. And he's running and he's going to win.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's why they hate him.
The other problem is we still have too much infighting within Congress, and I'm getting sick of it. These guys don't get a game plan together. We may have You know who back in the White House?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Well, that's never going to happen. First of all, Joe Biden, I mean, in my humble opinion, Joe Biden's not going to even make it to the view.
Mm.
It's a day-by-day survival thing with him. I mean, for crying out loud, the man is ill.
Yeah. He is, but his people are running into the ground, and they're going to.
As suicidal as the Democrats may be, they're not that suicidal that they're going to let Joe Biden be their candidate.
No, but I would watch them very closely because right now they're quiet. They're doing something. They're doing something, and.
Now I tell you, Mike. They're in fact what they're doing now is the worst thing that you can do. They're making big decisions while they're in a state of panic, anxiety. I give you an example. This phony story about the pool boy drained the Mar-a-Lago swimming pool and it destroyed all the evidence. They would have Trump if the pool boy didn't flood the room with the servers with the swimming pool. Give me a break. That means they got no evidence. They're saying the evidence was destroyed by the pool boy. They got nothing. They're going to get indictments, but they're not going to get further than that.
So we're going to get indictments.
And the indictments obviously are difficult for them, or they wouldn't have the two grand juries on the same case.
And then I don't want to talk about this morning, but the latest joke is the Mark Meadows fake story. Did you see that?
The what? The what story?
The Mark Meadows.
Yes. Yeah. Tell the. I'll let you tell it, Mike. Yeah, Mark Meadows. Tell that one.
Well, apparently he's been in talks for weeks with the lawyers, and they're going to give him immunity, and he's for charges, and he's going to talk about Trump. It's all baloney.
Yeah, and Mark Meadows says that's not true. And Mark Meadows said that's not true. It's fake news.
True.
See, when they give a witness immunity, you lose your Fifth Amendment and other privileges because you can't be prosecuted, so you can't incriminate yourself. And this fake news story that they made a deal with Mark Meadows, who, by the way, is a listener of this program. If you want to call in, Mark, you're welcome. Mark from D.C. or Mar-a-Lago, wherever. But Mark Meadows said the story's not true. They are creating. See, the reason Chris Licht was fired at CNN, the new leader of CNN, is because they're desperate to get these fake news, unsourced stories on the air on CNN, and Licht was stopping them from doing it. All these stories are fake news, Mike.
Morning.
All right, take care, Mike. Thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. Is that me?
Sounds like you.
Hey, Brian. I just wanted to, I'm going to insult a few people. People are so easily brainwashed and so flooded with misinformation and disinformation. Let's just go back to history. Number one, Bill Clinton had classified information that he mishandled. His wife, Hillary Clinton, had classified information that she not only mishandled, she had a team destroyed with bleach pits and hammers. Number three, Joe Biden had classified information from the time that he was a senator to the time he's vice president. He mishandled the classified information. He had it in some office in Chinatown in Washington, D.C. He had some classified information in his garage where anybody could just go and have a look. None of those three people who are Democrats are being prosecuted or indicted for something that Donald Trump was the president of the United States, who under the Presidential Records Act had the right to do what he did.
Yep.
It's just a railroad. This is just a railroad to try and discourage voters. They know they will not get
Let's get to the chase. Do you think you're right on everything you're saying? Do you think it's going to work?
No, because it's energizing people like me who are saying thinkers and saying, this is not about Donald Trump. This is the fact that they don't want us to choose who we want as president. That's what it's about.
Give this man a $50 bill and send him on his way. You're absolutely right, sir. Win the prize.
No. It's a metaphorical $50 bill.
And he's on, yes.
Yeah,
You're right, sir. You're absolutely right. That's
that's what it's about. They just want to damage Donald Trump, and it's working with Democrats who, as normal, they don't make any
those people
choice
hated Donald Trump
for.
to begin with. It works. Look, it works on people who hated Donald Trump from, as we would say, as my grandmother would say in Yiddish, that hated Donald Trump from the last picture. Okay, these are anti-Trump people.
Yeah.
They were, and they're still. It's not converting people. People get a sense. The general public gets a sense that he is being abused, and we're being abused. Because what they're trying to do is, you so rightfully put it, what they're trying to do is take away your vote and my vote. They want to take away the candidate we want to vote for, and they want to. He's not on the board. You can't vote for him.
Listen, caller, we have to run. We'll be, thanks for the call. We'll be right back.
Hard Truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking today?
Metals looking very strong today after yesterday's week pullback. Testing again those support levels around $1,935 on gold, getting down to about $1,939 yesterday, and actually closing at $1,939 the ounce. That was down $24. The range was $1939 to $1972. Silver closed down 16 cents at $23.41. Platinum was down $18 at $1,018. And so is palladium, down $18 at $1,365. But the markets have turned around again today, taking advantage of that dip yesterday was a great opportunity. Gold up $20 right now at $1,959. Silver up 44 cents at $23.85 an ounce. Platinum up $2 at $1,020, and palladium down $13 at $1,352. So again, the range trading has continued in this sidewards action that we've seen with gold trading between 1935 and right on up to about 1980.
Wow. That's awesome. Well, William, I want to ask you a question on silver. You know, yesterday you mentioned the great deals on 100-ounce silver bars, which are really cool and amazing. And if you stop into William Youngerman's in person, you can see these in person. But silver, a lot of people like to buy silver bars because they stack better for their stack of silver. But they come in all kinds of different sizes, much smaller than 100 ounces. What are some of the other bars of silver that you offer, William Youngerman?
Yeah, we have the 1-ounce bars, 10-ounce bars, kilo bars that stack up real nice also, and of course the 100-ounce bars. So you can get nice bars. In fact, we've got some beautiful bars that are actually coins, technically. They're from St. Helena, and they have a beautiful design on them, and they're 10 ounces, and they're very reasonably priced, and they really stack up nice. And each bar is actually wrapped in a protective cellophane-type product, and we really like those, but we have all the different products in stock.
Yeah, you know, a lot of silver guys, they call themselves stackers because they stack their silver and they stack it in bars, right? And it's pretty cool. All right, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. You can stop right in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. Online at williamyoungerman.com or give him a call toll-free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we'll finish out the week tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, back after this.
Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. We're going to go right back to your phone calls in just a moment at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Another hot show today filled with breaking news. And again, our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. No matter where you're listening to us, that's a toll-free call. But I want to tell people, Steve, about Slomin's. You know, listen, home security is pretty important for, I think, everybody. And when we talk about Slomin's, think about your kids and other family members and getting this security system for them as a gift. Okay, it'll make you as a parent or a grandparent sleep much easier. But you know, Steve, a cool thing about Sloman's, when you call Sloman's, they actually have a real human security advisor who will visit your home. They'll get to know you. They'll get to know not just the people that live there, but your home as well, so that they know what works best for you and what you need in your home to keep yourself safe and secure. You know, they offer you all the technology for free. You get a human security advisor, a real person, which is very unusual in this day and age, right? You'll receive a customized home security system with professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. The system includes an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery, plus that home security advisor. So call Sloman's right now, 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. All right, Steve. I mean, by the way, that story yesterday I broke, media blackout on that story still about those creepy donors of DeSantis.
You absolutely can't believe that story is still, I mean, it's
Well,
country, real trouble.
well, that's why this show is so important, because we're breaking this stuff. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. This is Richie. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, Rich, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Here's the deal. The documents that they originally wanted to get, believe it or not, are a letter from Kim Jong-un to President Trump and a letter from Barack Obama to President Trump. This is what opened this up. And I don't know if you know that every president since Clinton, actually before, the archives have rented space for them to take the documents that they can go through. President Trump was the first president that they didn't do that. That's why it had to go back to Mar-a-Lago. And I think it was a total setup from the very beginning from the archives. These people will do nothing to stop, because here's the deal. 35 to 40% of the voters are 150% behind Trump. We're called deplorables. We're called domestic terrorists. They got labels for us. I mean, we are, and they can't break this block. And the only way to break the block is to try to take the head of the snake off.
You know, let me tell you, they're yeah.
Absolutely, and we're the snake.
Steve, they're after Donald Trump more than they were after bin Laden after 9/11, and I'm not kidding. I mean, it's nonstop. But Richie, there was another update, Steve, yesterday that came out. This was confirmed for the very first time. On President Trump's last full day in office, he declassified all the Crossfire hurricane information, which is the documents that show that Obama personally approved of the spying on Trump Tower, and that continued. And what came out yesterday is they broke into Mar-a-Lago looking for the binder of all of those documents. That's why they brought the safe cracker with them to Mar-a-Lago to break into the president's safe. They thought he had the binder in the safe. And this just came out yesterday.
Covering up for Obama.
Well, it's not just Obama. It'd be Biden too, because he was in on that with Obama.
And Biden, yeah, but Biden, that's why Obama is trying to protect Biden. Believe it or not, the Democrats don't want Biden. But Obama is their sacred cow.
Let me ask you the key question as we approach the end of the show here. Do you think that at the bottom, when all of this is said and done, and this whole thing plays out, do you think they're going to be successful in their efforts to keep Donald Trump off the ballot?
No. I think what's going to happen is, even if President Trump ends up, believe it or not, because I don't put anything by him, in a cell, we'll still vote for him. And that's what's frustrating these people. They can't break.
No, Steve, let me tell you. Hold on. You're wrong, Richie.
That you think all these efforts to keep him off the ballot are going to be unsuccessful, and that we are going to have a chance to vote for Trump?
I think they'll be unsuccessful in Republican states. In Democratic states, I'm not so sure because they're controlled by people who hate us.
Well, in the primaries, no, Steve. What they're going to do is no. You're very wrong, Rich. You're talking about two different things. There's the primary in general, and their move is to try to keep him off the ballot during primaries, so he doesn't have enough. So he loses those delegates at the convention. Okay, so and all they need is some sellout rhino Republican against Trump that to keep him off a ballot in one of these primary states, early primary states. That's what their goal is. So you don't think they're going to be able to keep him off the ballot during a primary?
Might be able to keep him off the ballot in primary.
Well, then he won't. Then he'll lose those delegates for the convention.
Listen, I personally think that the 35 to 40% of Trump voters that they can't break that block, they are going to be unsuccessful in breaking the block. And I don't think there's any way, and they're trying their best. Liz Cheney said, we'll do anything as possible to keep him off the ballot. This is a personal attack.
Yeah.
Trying to get that up.
That's right. That's right. Hey, Richie, thank you for your call. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joellen.
Hey, I did go on the internet about after you reported about DeSantis, and they did have some things on there about it, but of course I've never heard anything.
No, Joellen, no. The story on the donors I found online. I found it in the Post Millennial, the Daily Mail. Politico reported on part of it. But one thing that I've learned over the years, and it's frustrated me many times, until something's on television, it's not real to most people who follow news, and there's been a television news blackout on the DeSantis donors.
Okay. The next thing.
The DeSantis donor story from yesterday.
You're saying that that's on our news station?
No. The television news has not. I have not seen one television report of that DeSantis story from yesterday. I have not seen it reported on Newsmax. If somebody has, let me know. The other radio shows have not, that I know of as well, just us. But it's a well-sourced story. It's not something that I just got a call during a break for. It was in the Daily Mail, Politico, and the Post Millennial out of Canada. Those are all three well-established. After the show, when I call you. I can't tell you on the air.
The other thing is Dan Bongino, step by step, talked about how it is Obama it's not Biden about this $5 million. It all goes back to Obama. Ever since Benghazi, he did a step by step. It is amazing, and it all makes sense. And what Richie said and what you just said yesterday, they're protecting Obama, him and his legacy. So it's very...
Listen, Obama will be fine, no matter what. No one is going to prosecute the first... No one is going to go on the record and go after the first black president of the United States. They'll be remembered as a racist in history. So Obama has all kinds of protections, and he'll never have to worry about anything, ever. No one's going to go after him.
He's the one behind all of this. Benghazi, Spygate, and it's so evident, and the $5 million thing. It's all Obama. It was amazing. I had chills just listening.
Well, I'll tell you, by the way, Joel, and thank you for the call. You know, the next 2 weeks, it came out yesterday from the Justice Department. They said, even though Trump said he has not personally been told this, the Justice Department released yesterday that they informed Trump's lawyers to expect an indictment as early as next week in the document case, a federal indictment. It's definitely coming. It's only a matter of when and which one of the grand juries, right? The D.C. grand jury, the secret Miami grand jury, or maybe they'll get indictments out of both on different counts. I don't know, but we're in a frightening place in this country. And for the life of me, it's hard to believe it's even happening. This stuff is so unreal. I mean, nothing like whoever the president is, half the country always hate them. But Donald Trump's not in office right now, and this level of move against him is something that has never happened before in America. I mean, this is the kind of thing that happens in third world countries. Now, listen, tomorrow is Friday, which is, can you believe, this week's flown by because we've had so much breaking news. Friday is Open Phones. We call Friday Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Open MAGA Mike Friday, anything and everything you have on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. Okay, so you can call in tomorrow about anything on your mind. Try to be relevant. You know, I don't need to hear about, you know, dog flea medications and things like that. But it's Open Phones. Anything and everything you have on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. Steve will be here, and this has been one of the hottest weeks since the O.J. Simpson trial, Steve. And tomorrow, I didn't even get to 3/4 of my show prep today because, you know, because things are just so hot. All right, it's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. God bless Donald Trump. See you tomorrow.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK.
All right, guys. See you later. Take it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you like the video.